Welcome to Tales and Travel Adventures. Let's visit the Church of Notre Dame Dijon in France. Hello, I am Lavana Hawkins with Champaign Public Library. Krannert Art Museum on the campus of the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign and Champaign Public Library have prepared this journey to France for us to enjoy together. There are two ways you can use this program. You can just listen and follow along as I read the narrative that accompanies each slide. Or you or your partner can turn down the volume and use the controls to pause each screen so that you can read the narrative aloud yourself. You might also want to talk with your partner about what you are seeing or any memories that come to mind. Today, with the help of Krannert Art Museum, we are visiting the Church of Notre Dame Dijon in France. Construction of this Gothic Catholic church began in 1230. The architect is unknown. This is the western face of the building. It almost looks like a wall built in front of the rest of the building, doesn't it? The Church of Notre Dame Dijon is nearly 800 years old. There are not many things around our area that old, are there? Look at all the gargoyles on the front. Here is a closer look at the gargoyles. All 51 gargoyles on the western face were only decorative and did not function as gutters. Only 10 years after the church was built, a man was killed when a decorative gargoyle fell on him as he was about to be married. All but one of the decorative gargoyles were removed. These were replaced in the 1800s by several Parisian artisans. Krannert Art Museum has a small copy of one of the restored gargoyles. You might enjoy examining it yourself sometime. Perhaps you have seen buildings with gargoyles. The original gargoyles were carved from stone. Have you seen similar stone carvings? Gargoyles are beings that only exist in the imagination, like this creature with no arms. Does this statue remind you of something else you have seen? On the north side of the church is a chapel that borders Owl Street. The chapel was added to the church a couple of 100 years after the church was built. This statue on a corner of the chapel is thought to represent an owl. The owl's features are no longer clear because of a superstition. Anyone who strokes it with their left hand and makes a wish will have good luck. How many people do you think have rubbed this owl to wear the stone away? Have you ever visited a statue that people rubbed for luck? In 2001, the owl was damaged by a vandal with several blows of a hammer. An expert was able to restore it using a mold that had been made in 1988. Now the owl is protected with video surveillance. Let's look at some things inside the church. The interior of the cathedral is just as striking as the exterior. The church was restored from 1865 to 1884 by a Parisian architect. You can see a tapestry in the front. Here is a closer look at the tapestry. Look at all the different creatures included. The original tapestry was made in the 1500s. It is in a museum. This tapestry was made in 1945. Both were created because the city had been saved from invading armies. The Our Lady of Good Hope statue was made around the 11th or 12th century. It is a wooden statue that has been modified at various times. Her hands and the baby Jesus they once held have been lost. However, the face is surprisingly intact. Although the face has at various times been painted or tinted, it has been restored to what is believed to be the original color. The church has many stained glass windows. This is the north rose window, which includes images depicting the life of St. Peter. The detail is amazing, isn't it? Thank you for joining Krannert Art Museum and Champaign Public Library today on this trip to the Church of Notre Dame Dijon in France. We have seen some beautiful sights together and learned some amazing facts. I look forward to visiting more places with you. Where else in the world would you like to visit? Questions? For materials to go along with this video, please contact Champaign Public Library at 217-403-2070. Email librarian@champaign.org. Or the Giertz Education Center at Krannert Art Museum, University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, at 217-300-9729. Email kam@illinois.edu. For information about using questions for a meaningful conversation, visit timeslips.org.